Bold TV.
Good morning, beautiful people out there. It's another lovely Saturday, and you're welcome to Bold TV. BOLD is the acronym for Beautiful Outstanding Ladies with Disabilities. BOLD TV is sponsored through the donations and goodwill gestures of some of you out there, and is powered by Bold Hearts Network. Today, we come your way with intelligence, social intelligence. Sounds weird, right? Social intelligence. Everybody associates intelligence with, academic work. So which one is now social intelligence? You'll get to find out later. So before we proceed, I'd just like to welcome our online audience. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for always joining us, tuning in. And as many as will watch this video afterwards, maybe through replays or on our different platforms. Thank you. So before we go on, how is the weather? The rains have come to stay. And I just say, keep warm. And today I have with me beautiful ladies here who will be joining me to do justice to this topic, social intelligence. Okay, so before we dive into the topic, I'll just let them introduce themselves. You get to meet them, and then we now go into the topic proper.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're not having cold like I am. My name is Freki Andresian, and I'm based in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. I'm the ED of Fake Care Foundation, and I identify as a woman with disability because I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. I also am a member of Bold Hearts Initiative, among so many things. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, ladies and online viewers. I'm Osaki Teresa George, reside in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Bodo warrior, a member of Bold Hearts Initiative. I'm a farmer, and other things. So glad to be here. Thank you.
And today we have a special guest in our midst, and I'll allow her to introduce herself. Comfort, over to you.
Hello everyone. Hi to you, our online audience. My name is Comfort Ekwo. I'm a young lady with disability. I'm the Executive Director of Sorry Growth Initiative for Women and Youth with Disability. I'm a person with visual impairment. And I'm also a member of Bold Heart Network, and I'm also a follower, like a big fan of Bold TV for some years now. So I'm so glad to be here today.
Thank you. You see, that's an upgrade from fan to guest. Welcome. It's good to have you, and thank you for your support through the years. We appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome. So today, we are going to be talking about social intelligence. Many people do not realize that there are different types of intelligence. Most times, people often associate intelligence with just academics. How smart you are in school, how well you talk, how you're able to express yourself. But we've come to realize that there are other types of intelligence that everybody must possess in order to have a holistic capacity when it comes to interacting with the world. And one of these is social intelligence. On this program, we've talked about emotional intelligence before. You can look up our past videos on YouTube or Facebook and you will find it. We've discussed emotional intelligence, that's another one. But today we are going to talk about social intelligence. So before we continue, I would just like to direct my question to my guest, Comfort. What is social intelligence?
Okay, so to me, social intelligence is a term whereby we can look into how people can control how they relate to people, how people interact with people, how we get to socialize with other people in our community or beyond our community, how we can understand how other people think, why they think the way they think, and how we can best relate with them.
Wow, that was quite comprehensive. Thank you. Saki, do you want to say anything in addition to that?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. If I would just add is, I'll just say how you can cope with yourself and other person involving someone in activity. So when it comes to it has to be fun, not too serious, but something that one can enjoy in participating. How can this person participate in this kind of activity I want to create without any bias or struggle to participate? That's what I'm going to add. Thank you.
Okay. That's That's quite good. And I think social intelligence, for me, I've come to realize that, like you've all said, it has a lot to do with interactions. When we hear social, you think interaction. So it has a lot to do with interactions with one's environment. For me, social intelligence is about awareness, how to read your environment. Sometimes we go into a place and then we're just like, we don't even know what's going on. And so we may not even realize that, how do we know how to behave, how to conduct ourselves in that environment and get the best out of it? So social intelligence is the ability to read your environment so that you can get the best out of it and perform better. Freki, do you want to add to that, or can we move on?
I think we've done well. We've talked about other people, has to do with connecting with other people and being aware. So it's not just about you, it's about communicating or connecting with the other person, but in consideration to that other person. Thank you.
Yes, you brought up a very valid point, consideration of the other person. Many times you go somewhere and then you're like, it's about me, let everybody see me, and you don't even care about what's happening around you. And that brings me to my next question. Freki, you start. What are common scenarios that you either witnessed or heard about? We see it a lot on social media about the lack of people that show a lack of social intelligence. In English, I think it's called social faux pas, when you do things that are not socially acceptable. So can you give us a few examples?
I think in a world where the focus has turned to a lot of self. So I've seen situations where people want to seize attention from a scenario that had nothing to do with them and make it about themselves. So where a person is mourning a loss, you now come and start telling your own story. I remember when, while it might be an important story, but read the room. Like, that person doesn't want to really hear your life story at that point. The person just wants quiet ums and ahs and do's. But then you now don't read the room, you now just be talking, and then all you're doing is talking about what you yourself and how you've experienced it, I still remember a conversation, at the point that someone was like, I really understand what you're saying. And I'm like, you've had a disability before, you broke your back before, and the person now had to pause because the person really didn't realize that the person did not really understand what I was talking about. So sometimes I think that happens a lot where we don't read the room and then we just want to now make it about our own selves and our own experiences when it's not required at that point. A lot of times that's been the case, just like the sound of your voice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I like that you brought in that phrase, read the room. Some people are it's like someone being tone deaf. Music is playing another level, you're singing your own another way. Some people just do not have any sense of awareness or sensitivity. It's like, like you said, somebody saying, I understand what you're going through. That is the worst thing you can say to someone in pain. That's the worst thing you can say to someone in pain. Maybe somebody's going through something, rather than, maybe just be quiet. Don't say anything. There's nothing you can say in that moment. Just be quiet. And just, if all you can say is sorry, I'm sorry. That's all. But somebody will now make it seem like, I understand. That year in 1930, when I this same thing happened to me. I know I know these things. That is not what they need. Osaki, do you know of any common scenarios? I'm sure you've experienced a few.
Thank you very much. I've experienced many. Like, a typical one is most times when an invite for a program, and most times they'll put the program like inclusive program. So in that regard, means you are inviting persons with disabilities, and maybe inside the program they want to do energizing, and whoever is taking charge of the energizing forget certain kind of energizing. They will not pick and it's that some persons will not be able to participate. So when they join instead of say maybe stand up or dance around or walk around, some kind of activities, you know that some persons inside that program will just be sitting there be looking. So when you're making some energization, you have to like check around, okay, what can I really do? What can I do that everybody will participate, that it's easier, that will flow. And also for our friends with vision impaired, most times I think they are not included, even for programs that are persons with disability. Somehow, I don't know it happened, but they are not included because of the vision, whatever. Maybe they couldn't get the braille or something. We're not letting them adjust, and that somehow to me really is not so. That's not social intelligence. We're not being re-inclusive to notice their own kind of disability.
Thank you. So, not being sensitive, because social intelligence involves being aware of the emotions or how your actions or words will impact another person. What I'm going to say, how will it make that person feel? Is there a better way of saying it? Is there another way of doing what I need to do so that it doesn't hurt the other person? Comfort, I'd like your view as a visually impaired person. I'm sure you've experienced a few scenarios where this has happened, where people have been insensitive or, just kind of like not taking into account your disability.
I said, this social intelligence is something a lot of people don't really think about. Like, they don't really know, like, it's still a bit new. So, I went for an audition, for a TV presenting audition. So when the audition was going on, and I was auditioned, and at the end of the day, they didn't pick me. And when I said, okay, I wanted the feedback, or what didn't I do? What didn't I do well? What did I do well? Because when I came back, the people in charge of cinematography were like, oh, you were the best, you were the best, you were the best. And I was not chosen. So I was like, oh, I want to know why. So I met the person that interviewed me, and I asked him, what happened? Why didn't I do well? And he was telling me that I was unable to sustain eye contact, which is very, very key for you as a television person, that you need to maintain eye contact. Because if you have a guest, that is the medium to show that you have confidence. You need to maintain eye contact. And me as a visually impaired person, I can't do that, because I could even barely see your face. I could barely even know where your eyeball is positioned. The only thing I could do is, to trace, because I still have a residual vision. I can maybe see your frame, your image, just face you, or trace your voice to be able to face the location where the voice is coming from. That's the highest I can do. But maintaining eye contact is beyond my capacity. So I felt if he was intelligent, socially intelligent, he would have understood that as a blind person, he would have put that into account. That as a blind person, he already knows that I am visually impaired, but he didn't take that into account. He didn't try to put himself in my shoes to see that, okay, as a blind person, I may not be able to do this. So that is one instance for me.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Imagine what that was. And, they should have maybe spelled it, have known if you stood a chance. Thank you, ladies, for sharing those experiences. So now that we've, put it out there and people are aware, and this is not limited, most of the things we've said, apart from maybe what Fred said, we are talking about how it affects us as persons with disabilities. But sometimes even people with disabilities can display a lack of social intelligence, especially when they go for events. They go for events and they are not, they don't pay attention to the environment, or maybe someone invites you, you don't stop to ask, is this the best fit for me? Is this where I should go to? Or you go there and things happen and you expect to be treated specially when probably you were not, they didn't make provision for you. So these are things, even persons with disabilities can also display lack of social intelligence. So this is for everybody. So that wherever you go to, ask questions, try and check your environment, see what's happening, who is there, how can I, put my best foot forward in this place so that I can, get the best out of it. All right, so let's move on. Now we're going to talk about why this is so important. Like Comfort said, it's relatively still new, although it's been around for a longer, but in our society, it's still a new concept and many people are not aware. So we're going to talk about why this is important. Why is it important, especially for women with disabilities? Why is social intelligence important? Osaki?
Okay, thank you very much. One of the ways I would say it's effective communication, because if you don't have that social intelligence, you will not communicate well. You will be able to say, okay, this is where I can go according to my disability or the person that I can reach. If you're not listening well, you will not get the information that is being passed. And also, another I'll say is that it enhances relationship. Most times when we used to have issue with friends around us is because it's either they are not social intelligence or we are not. So that relationship is to have a crack. I actually remember that whenever I'm working with a friend, these are more than one friend, and they forget to do that, I'm on crutches. I used to crutches on my hand. And so they will be tempted to hold my hands or something. Like, sorry, you can't do that. Or if you are walking, they'll tend to walk fast. Their speed is too far. So the steps are like faster than mine. So I'll end up being behind. So people say, please slow down. Or somehow someone will not remember to say, okay, it's true. So whenever it comes out, please don't walk with me, because there's no way you can slow down your step. And that disturbs most time relationship and all the rest. And I'll say also have a mental well-being. Mental well-being is a key because it's something that runs through your whole body. Once your mental well-being is not stable and it's not fine, everything about you gets down. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. That's true. It's very, very, so it's important for effective communication. If you can't read the room, if you don't know what's happening, if you're not aware of your environment, and it may be difficult for you to actually communicate effectively. Freki, why is this so important?
Okay, so yes, social intelligence is important, especially for women with disabilities. Thank you for the question. So with respect to why it is important for women with disabilities, social intelligence is something that can be learned, and it can help us to build our social capital. It's easy for women with disabilities to be excluded, feel secluded because of different things. There are self-esteem issues. Quite a number of things can play against your ability to be socially intelligent. So learning the skills and being intentional about it can help you build your social capital as a woman with disability. It can also help you to find people that you can collaborate with, partner with, network with, and work with, especially for your dreams to come to reality, your vision to come to reality. Another thing that social intelligence can benefit women with disabilities is that you would meet other people and learn. So your knowledge base will be wider, your ability to converse will be better. You'll just be a better, well-rounded person because you're able to meet other people and you will learn how to interact with other people. Finally, for me, one of the crucial benefits of social intelligence for women with disabilities is the fact that people soon remove the label of putting you in the box that identifies you as a woman with disability only, and they begin to see other aspects of you and treat you as a person. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So your ability to social interactions become easier because you know exactly what to say and how to say it. Your ability to, and one key thing that is important in social intelligence is your ability to listen. When you listen, you can pick up information, and that helps you to interact with that person better. It also helps you, it helps you to deal with, it enhances your well-being, because as women with disabilities, there are a lot of mental health issues, a lot of emotional issues that we battle with. And when you are able to, you're socially aware, beginning with yourself, with personal awareness, and then you become aware of the environment, you pay attention, you're observant. It helps you to move beyond your disability and project the best parts of yourself. So, and also I want to add that increased adaptability. You find it easy to adapt to any situation. You go to a place and things are not the way you had thought. You can easily find your way around and make decisions, and help you with decision making. Okay, I shouldn't be here. This is not for me. Or, okay, what can we do to make the best of this situation? So it helps you to adapt easily. So now I'm going to just, as we round up, I'm just going to move on to how we can build social intelligence. Like Freki said, it's a skill. Nobody's born. It's unlike, academic intelligence that some people are born naturally smarter. When it comes to social intelligence, anybody can learn it. It's a skill. You learn it, and then it's one of the soft skills. You learn it, and it can help you to perform better, regardless of where you are. So now we're going to talk about, practical steps. How do you build this skill? How do you learn this skill and then, put it to use? So Comfort, I'll start with you.
Okay, so how you can learn these skills is, one, you have to be very, very intentional about it. You have to, first of all, accept those areas that you are not doing well when it comes to social intelligence. Then you have to put more work. Because, for example, some people are not good listeners. Some people, just the way she gave an example, that some people are always about themselves. And when you meet other, some people are even, when you meet somebody with low self-esteem and the person wants to come out and you're always boasting about yourself, you're always bringing people down. So when you notice something like that, or somebody has complained, then you should try and see how you can let other people talk. If you have suggestions, you give. You can even read books. You can read books about it. You can ask other people, how can I be better? And we need to understand that when it comes to social intelligence, it's a two-way thing. It is not just about you. It is about you and the other person. You need to, first of all, understand yourself, then try to understand the other person. Anytime you're with somebody, and try to imagine why is the person behaving the way the person is behaving. Try to put yourself in other people's shoes is another way. It's another fast way of learning these skills. When you always put yourself in some person's shoes, you would always understand why the person is behaving the way the person is behaving. It will also help you to be empathetic.
All right, thank you very, very much. So empathy is very key, can be learned. When you see me, maybe you're one of those people that talks a lot. Stop, ask more questions. That means you're putting the focus on the other person and not just yourself. All right, Frecky.
Okay, so thank you very much. In building this set of skills, don't beat yourself about not being able to socialize or have social intelligence. You can start by actually reading or learning some basic communication skills, like the one that Affiong mentioned, listening, and not just listening, but active listening. So when you step into a conversation with somebody, just agree within yourself that the conversation is not just one way, it's not a monologue, that this person, I'm sure, is something I can learn from this person. There's a reason why I said there's something I can learn from this person, because at the end of the day, we still are the center of everything. So just agree within yourself that in having this conversation, I want to learn or glean one or two things from this person. That way you would find yourself giving the allowance in the conversation for that person's voice to also matter in the interaction. Another thing is always be self-aware, read the room. While you may want to interact, with a person, if that person is not in an interacting, don't force the issue. Don't go there and be like, I'm going to be the messiah of your mood. Don't do that. Just in a way to not add to that person's foul mood. Another thing is in being self-aware is also check your own mood. There's sometimes that we are also not in the mood to communicate. We're now going to force it and then we come down. So watch yourself too. So that you don't go and inflict of one person a foul mood that you may be having or do transferred aggression without knowing. Yeah. Then another thing that you can do is that always be approachable. I mean, for one of the basic things is social intelligence is approachability. So even if a person is not approachable, try to be approachable so that if you meet the person, and approachability has to do with your face, has to do with little gestures, having openness. That's when you are open. That person may just want to give you a listening ear for a short time or anything. So be approachable, have a smile, don't frown, don't come as if you're about to do something. So be approachable. And then the last I'll say is this, rehearse an introduction of yourself. In other words, a short introduction of yourself. It will come up at any time. Hi, my name is this, I'm this, can I meet you? Just an opener for conversations. If you have a few of those, it can help a lot. They'll be like, oh, your top is really nice. Where did you get it from? There's some starters. So you may want to just learn. Not like now, don't be like, after this is our hair. Please, you need to refer me to your hairstylist so that I can get my hair locked. And we start conversing because it's leave the hair. Because it's all of us have locks, even Comfort has locks. So we are all locked. But so have conversations, okay, so that you can always open up a conversation. Thank you.
All right, you have talked it all. Is there anything else you want to say? Okay. Anyway, I will just want to bring up one key point that is very common in this age of technology. We've been saying listen actively. It may not make sense to some people, but what that means is when you're having a conversation with someone. Some of us, you're talking to somebody and you're pressing your phone. You're not listening. You're just hearing the person. It's number one, it's rude. You're telling that person what you're saying is not important enough to give my full attention to. And that can, actually ruin a potential relationship. It can close doors for you. Because how you communicate can actually open doors or close doors. So you're with someone, give them, even if what they're saying is not making sense, give them your full attention at that moment. And then if you feel the need to excuse yourself, do so politely. So that even if that person, you don't like what the person is saying, you have not left a bad impression. That's one thing. And then another thing is when you are in a particular place at a particular time, be there. Sometimes you're there and your mind is in the market. You are there, you're in a place, only your body is there, your spirit is somewhere else, and it will show. Someone can tell when you're absent-minded or preoccupied, and it says a lot. So be present. Other things can wait. Be present in the moment. That's the way for you to build relationships. You don't know who you will communicate with that can actually create opportunities for you. So social intelligence is key to create. It can open doors. It can create opportunities that you never thought possible just by the way you interact, by your awareness. So this is something very important. Another thing that is part of social intelligence is being aware of other people's culture. Don't just assume it's about me. Maybe you're talking to a Muslim or you're talking to someone from another part of the country, and rather than asking questions so that you get to know the person better, you make assumptions. These Hausa people, that's how they are. These Yoruba people, that's how they used to do. In fact, that's another topic on its own. Cultural intelligence is another form of intelligence, and we'll address that fully. But I'm just chipping it in here that is part of your social intelligence, being aware of what, trying to find out. So more often than not, ask questions. Don't just talk. Spend more time asking questions, because that will open, create more, increase your knowledge of the other person and tell you how to interact better. So I think, we've done as much as we can concerning this topic. It is now left to you out there to now take the knowledge you have gained and go and act on it. And I promise you, if you pay attention to this and, take some of these steps and act on it, you will see a huge difference in your daily interactions. It doesn't matter who it is, and you might get those opportunities only dreamed of. So I'd just like to say thank you. As we round off, I just want to say thank you to my amiable and very socially intelligent, panelists. Thank you so much for joining me today. Comfort, it's been a pleasure having you. Freki, Osaki has been thrown off by network. Thank you so much for joining us today, and to our online audience, thank you so, so much. We would appreciate it if you could help us spread this message far and wide by sharing this video, liking, commenting on it, and most importantly, applying what you have learned, and then telling us giving us your feedback on how it worked for you. We look forward to hearing your amazing stories of those opportunities that come from this. So thank you so much. We solicit for your continued support by subscribing to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, liking our Facebook page, helping us share this video so that many more people will learn about this and they can also improve their lives. So thank you so much. If you feel led to contribute financially, we will more than welcome it, because we pay for subscription to come online like this. So thank you so, so much. Your partnership is welcome. And if you want to come on the show as a guest, like Comfort did, she was, an avid fan, and now today she's contributing. If you want to come on, please reach out and we'll be able to bring you on the show. Thank you so much. And until we come your way next week, Saturday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Stay tuned and stay intelligent, socially and otherwise. Ladies, let's say bye-bye. Wow.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
This is Bold TV.